Welcome to Raw Mnd Sports, where we dig into the minds of athletes and sports fanatics. I'm your host, Ryan Primetime Jones. If you have a love and passion for sports, then this is the show for you. Let's talk about your college hoops, Power 5 conference, and we're going to dive into something after that needs to be talked about.
All right. Oh man, so college basketball this year, man. Obviously, I love my Deeks. I love to see them continue to try to turn that thing around.
In a tough conference now. No,
we are. We are. And you know what? We can play to our top potential and still finish no higher than 8th in that league. Standings in that league really isn't an indication of how well you've really done with the teams you're playing on a nightly basis. But I feel like the coaches there have done a good job. We've lost some kids along the way, but hopefully now we have kids that want to be there, hungry to fight, and be proud to wear that Wake Forest across their chest and represent the university. So, but with Duke and Carolina, Jimmy and those guys in that league, it's gonna be tough.
You got that right. That's why I said the same thing about them. I'm a diehard Duke fan, but I have a relative that Wake Forest, Randolph Childress. But I have certain conversations with him sometimes, and I won't tell him that. I don't get into it, but me and him we kind of see how that we know that he knows the competition and the recruiting is tough. For one, you talking about the ACC. Then alone, let's not even talk about the blue blood schools like the Kentuckies.
Right.
Like Kentucky, Duke, Carolina, UCLA, Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
And that those teams usually get the top tier. I know other teams are getting those top players, but you also have those teams also battling too. So I can imagine being a coach and a recruiting, the assistant coach of a college basketball team and trying to go to every door in the country to figure out this child is going to make his play.
Yeah, it's rough, and it's hard too when you factor in like a school like Wake. You gotta have kids that fit the academic profile too. So now you're battling something else. If they don't fit those requirements to get in, then it's tough there too. I think certain schools now are trying to find different formulas to use to battle those things. Like you see the University of Memphis right now. If I'm a college basketball coach in the country, you should be afraid. You should be very afraid. And that it doesn't matter who you are, that those guys on that staff can be in a position with the kids that they are right now, and they haven't even played a game yet. Like you haven't even seen them coach a game, and they are in the conversation for the top kids in the country. And that's a scary thought. So I think, kudos to the University of Memphis for making the hire, and kudos to Penny for, hiring the right people around him to get that thing turned around.
It's going to be dangerous. This team going to be dangerous between him. Now, this brings a whole new recruiting field with Penny Hardaway. Because you got him, you got Calipari, and then I'm going to tell you a sneak recruiter that I want to say the best recruiter in basketball. But I'm not going to say, but now Penny is at Memphis. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say Jeff Capel, the man behind Coach K.
Yep.
The guys are there really, honestly, to me, are there because of Jeff Capel recruiting before he found out those guys were going to Pittsburgh. Before he took the head job at Pittsburgh. Right. I feel like those guys were a part of Jeff Capel. I'm not saying Coach K doesn't do the work, but I know he does a lot.
I co-sign that statement.
What you say?
I said I would co-sign that statement.
Yeah.
I mean, because you look even in the past couple of weeks with those top guys in the class of 2019 committing, and 5 of them had Duke on their short list, but none of them chose them. I don't think that's an accident.
Yeah.
I don't think that's an accident at all. So I think Jeff's going to do a great job at Pitt. As long as they give him time to get that thing turned around, I have no doubt he's going to do a fantastic job there. Oh yeah.
And Duke blood. And speaking of that, since we're talking about recruiting, let's talk about the corruption of college basketball and high school. Let's go with the shoe companies first, and how you feel about it. And then I got another topic after that.
Well, you know what? It's becoming more relevant now, but it kind of started when I was in high school. Even the competition of what shoe company is going to sponsor what team. I played for the Carolina Warriors, and it was just a team out of the Triangle area. And all of a sudden, we had 8 of the top 15 juniors in the state of North Carolina on one team.
Mm.
It was myself, Antoine Scott, Urban Murray, Josh Howard, Julius Peppers, Brendan Haywood was on our team, Chris Lang. Our team was loaded. It was loaded. And the first year we didn't have a sponsorship at all. Like halfway through the season, all of a sudden we had some Adidas shoes show up. Coach is like, all right, Adidas wants to sponsor the team. Cool, no big deal. Then the next year we come back, our first practice is at the Dean Dome, and we walk in, there are all these Nike boxes everywhere. And we're like, Coach, what happened? What happened to Adidas? And he was like, well, Nike called, and they want all of you guys to go to the Nike All-American camp. So we're sponsored by Nike now. That's the thing. So for us, we played in the first ever Nike Super Showcase. We actually won the first ever one at the Milk House in Disney. But you kind of saw it coming in. Now, thankfully, none of us, we never got paid or anything like that. We just wanted the gear.
Right. That was enough.
Yes. But you could I feel like that's when it kind of started. But the links that people are going to now just to sign a kid and have a kid play for them, I can never do that. I wasn't raised that way. I don't think if a kid doesn't want to come, like even to my school, I totally respect that choice. All I can do is tell you what I can help you with, how I can get you where you want to go, and it's ultimately up to you and your family to make that decision. But going through shoe companies to pay kids and pay families and things like that, that's just not. We don't need that in basketball.
You're right. I want to go to another topic: the funding and the money. I know you recently seen, it was a while back, but not too far back, with Rick Pitino getting fired and money being dispersed. How do you feel for a child? I had a topic on this a while back in one of my very first episodes of Raw Mnd Sports about like children accepting money or whatever during their time, or it may be illegal. Me personally, I'm like the type of guy that says the kid is 18, he may be a man athletically and physically, but in the mind, you may tell a kid who's in the projects and his family who may be struggling, and Calipari may walk in your door, for example, and say, I got $100,000. You go right then instantly, that's just a game changer. That's millions of dollars to them at that time. So how do you feel about it? I just go to that.
The kid's not to blame. You can't blame them. I mean, like you said, that's like more money than they probably thought they'd ever see their entire life. And $100,000. I mean, anybody in their right mind would have a hard time to that. I don't think my parents would allow me to do that. But just hearing that number, I'd be like, "Are y'all sure?" I mainly feel it's wrong, for them to go to such great lengths. One, with all the Pell Grants, all those things now in college, I don't know why someone would need that much money just to go to college. Now I do feel like at some point, like my feeling on paying college athletes, if you graduate from that school, you've generated X amount of money over 4 years. I feel like there should be some kind of stipend for you to help jumpstart your life after that. Now, if you're leaving early to go to the NBA, I think you're going to be just fine. I think you're going to be okay. But, going through the shoe companies and all those things, and parents actually telling these schools, hey, my kid will come to your school for X amount of money. Because even though that wasn't talked about in that probe, a lot of that happens too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I said that too, and I said the parents always had it in line, but they'll play the victim role, but you know, I look at it from both sides. Like they'll play the victim like they ain't had to do it. No, you did. You did because you saw come to their house. You knew what it was.
Right.
And right then, if he came to your house, you knew right then. Like certain coaches come to your house. Not saying all coaches don't have a chance, but if a certain coach come to your house, you knew right then that they have a very high percentage of going to the NBA. So they wouldn't be at your doorstep if they didn't feel like your child was that good or could be a top tier guy. And we all know how Calipari is. He's a one and done coach. So whoever's coming to his house, to his program, pretty much is NBA ready. So if he comes, that's their bribe, that's their sale pitch to him. Well, I don't want my child to come here, but if I do, but you got to do this and X and O. You know, we ain't get into discussion. I mean, you get what I'm saying. So So basically, with that, they probably say, well, I won't get them unless I get this. And then boom, they get them. 2 years, 3 years, boom, it's allegations. They had such a sex. My thing is, personally, up here, I feel like, not all coaches, but it's been going on for years. But I look at this, if you get caught, you just get caught. You're not, morally, this is wrong. What I'm saying is, morally, this is wrong. But we know.
Right.
It's a sales pitch. It's just like selling a car. It's just like you just said earlier, Nike competing with Adidas. You're gonna do whatever it takes to figure how you gonna get this.
That's right.
My size. So
yeah, and the sad part is it's not even about whether the guy you're playing for can coach or not.
Right.
It has nothing to do with you getting better. Like nothing with you being NBA ready when you get there. It's just about what can you do for my kid, or this is what I can do for you. Because a lot of those guys, I think they underachieve when they get to those places because it's almost like they're just handing them the ball and saying, okay, go play.
Right.
But, you know, I would want somebody that's going to, you know, make me a better player, you know, to critique my game. No, you need to change this. You need to do this better. Not somebody that's just going to tell me what I want to hear.
And that's why I was saying about Calipari. I ain't knocking. I'm not talking about his coaching legacy, but that question me like when I started doing it, because me and my friend had this conversation about a week ago. Like, is Calipari really a good coach or he's a great recruiter? Now I'm learning even with AU basketball and stuff. Some coaches can coach, then you got some who's just good at recruiting talent. So you got to be able to distinguish the two. You're either good at talking the talk and selling the dream, or you're good at breaking the player down or dissecting the player and making the player better. And I think that's when I started distinguishing is Calipari that elite coach or he just a good coach that can recruit. Well, that's what I started thinking of.
It's I was lucky enough a few years ago to go watch them practice, and it shocked me at how much he actually does coach. He is a stickler for two hands on the rebound. You know, little things that most people probably wouldn't think so. I think the hard part in his case is you have so many freshmen that normally when you see a player improve, it's between their freshman and sophomore year when they come back.
You wouldn't be able to see him improve.
I mean, you can see it. Yeah, you can see it, but it's still kind of new to them. Like, I feel like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander got a lot better this year as the year went on. But when you have so many of those guys, it's hard to really be able to tell because it's not like they're playing 30 minutes a night for you to see. They're only playing 18, 20 minutes because he's got to play 10 of them. You know what I mean? So like Devin Booker, nobody would have ever thought Devin Booker was that good, and he's coming off the bench at Kentucky. Devin Booker should not be coming off the bench for anyone, ever. But you chose to go to a place where you knew they had 10 guys that had to play, wanted to play, needed to play. So you don't look the same because you're not playing as long, as many minutes. It's really hard to tell how much better they're actually becoming during that time.
I agree. So let's talk about your first of all, let's talk about why you love coaching. Then I'm gonna go into another topic dealing with NBA. And also tell everybody about the high school that you coach. I apologize, I put that in ready.
Oh no. Like I said, it's all boys, all boarding. It's about 400 boys here. Actually, on a 1,200 acre campus, surrounded by a 9-hole golf course. got a lake, river, 2 swimming pools. I mean, it's beautiful, man. But I love coaching because I love teaching the game. People think I'm crazy when I say I'd much rather go to practice than actually play a game. I like seeing people get better on a daily basis. To me, the game is kind of like their way of showing, okay, have you picked up on what we've tried to teach you? Whether the shot goes in or not, are you executing what we're trying to get? Are we getting the shots that we want every time? Things of that sort. So I love practice. I love dissecting people's games. I love trying to figure out how to mesh it together to get everybody on one accord, to sacrifice enough to do something for somebody else, not just be caught up in their own individual goals. I like the challenge of all of that, man. So it hadn't gotten old to me yet. So I think I'll be a little while longer.
Yeah, you're getting good at situational basketball, which is great, which is good. That's the beauty of it. Let's talk about NBA hoops, man. I'm gonna get your little fun take.
Oh, what?
Yeah, take you off your coaching and put you into the debate seat. You're in the debate seat right now. Let's talk. Who's your favorite team, man?
That's an easy one. I love to shoot threes.
God, yeah, you already know.
Yeah, you already know.
Golden State.
but I think for a lot different reasons than most people. Klay Thompson is actually my favorite player.
We like to move without the basketball, I see.
Yeah, and he doesn't need the limelight. He doesn't need any of that. He just likes to hoop. He's willing to do any and everything for that team to win, and I think people would be surprised if he's not on that team, how much different it would be. But I like the joy those guys play with. I like the fact that you can get a bunch of NBA guys to learn to play without the ball. A lot. Popovich does that in San Antonio as well. Getting people to sacrifice numbers and not worrying about that stuff for the betterment of the team. That's hard to do sometimes when a player is making 6, 7 times what the coach is making. You telling a grown man, no, you need to do this, you need to do that.
Yeah.
Guys to put their ego aside and listen to that and be willing to take that criticism, I think says a lot about who they are as individuals. So that's why I love watching them play, man. It's a thing of beauty.
That's what I was about to say about Golden State. Golden State is a very unique situation. Like, a lot of people are saying that Mark Jackson built that team. Mark Jackson created the team. But also look at the X's and O's of Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr is phenomenal. Because, like, he changed his whole offense. Mark Jackson's offense and Steve Kerr's offense is completely different.
Yeah.
They changed up where the number one option is. Like, it could have went between Steph and Clay and Mark Jackson. And now, even though whenever Steph is hurt, it's more of a spread out wide offense. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about threes, that's correct. But it's that the person without the ball is the most dangerous.
Yep.
Even though people don't understand it, the person without the ball is the most dangerous. And on top of that, they get a lot of wide open layups. Everybody is open. And every shot that Golden State takes just about is a good shot with an offense that a coach asks you to take.
That's right.
Every shot, I don't care if it's a baseline shot, at the free throw line, the back door with the little dunks. Mm-hmm. Now, with his cousin going to be very unique with him. Every shot they take possible is always there. Everybody's so unselfish. Everybody say that they thought it wasn't going to work. The person with the ball is always looking to find the next man open, which makes his offense so unique.
Yep.
It's so tough. That's why I be thinking about how do NBA coaches now with a team that shoots that well go into film room trying to digest and figure out how am I going to stop them. And everybody started probably thinking about, well, we just got to stop the threes. No. About the basketball, it's keeping them from getting open looks wherever it is on the floor. That's the ball movement. Them moving off the screens, the down screens, the up screens. It's a lot with those guys, man, that they don't even see. And then teams get into this run and gun habit. That's no. You can't, because nobody has that. Nobody has those type of consistent shooters on their team. So you can't.
It's the dumbest thing they can try to do.
Right.
So I don't understand it. My dad and I talk about it a lot because my dad's a big LeBron fan, and so we actually argue a lot about this. But yeah, he was like, I don't understand why these teams just try to run up and down the court with them, and I'm like, I don't know. You got six, seven coaches over there, and not one of you in that room is saying this is probably not a good idea to be doing this.
The only thing I can think of to possibly keep yourself in the game, from what I've seen, and maybe, and I might be wrong, is that people may disagree. You just gonna have to make them play defense. You have to make them play 24 seconds of the shot clock. If you wear them down a tad bit on the defensive end, maybe they'll slow them down the offensive end. And you can't be playing with the ball. It be a lot of ball move. It can't be no ISO ball basically.
It can't be 1-on-1.
Because all you're doing is resting up the rest of the team in the back end for defense, and they just wait for you to miss. And once you miss, they off to the races. It got to be ball movement. It was a few games against Houston that had a lot of ball movement. Then they went back to ISO ball.
Yeah,
that's kind of changed their series, and that's what you can't do against those guys, man. You're right. 7 guys in there, you can't tell me you can't find a way. So I understand they're good, but look, at least make it competitive. And then guys think the game is over with. They can be up by 15 points in 3 minutes. Do they not know what Golden State? 5 turnovers, 5 threes. We got a game. The game is never over.
And that's the other thing I love about them, even though it pisses me off a lot of times, because they drive me nuts just as much as I like them. Because they can get complacent and get careless and not play with the same passion all the time. But when they turn it on, man, do they turn it on? And you're right. They're never out. They never feel like they're out of the game.
They never do. Who are your contenders? Matter of fact, how do you feel about LeBron going to LA? I'll let you start.
I think it's great for his movie career and everything outside. Got Space Jam 2 now, I just saw. He's going to be the star in. You know what? I understand it. I am, I don't know why, he feels the need to have to keep going to different teams though. Maybe just a change of scenery. I know he has a house in LA and those things, but me personally, when people get into the GOAT debate, I don't think there is any debate at all. It's not even a conversation at all. Played on one team. Didn't matter who was on the team. This is what we got. This is what we're rolling with.
Yeah.
No questions, no anything. Didn't hand pick them. Didn't do any of that. Didn't facilitate a move over here. None of that. No.
Right.
LeBron is great. I mean, he's a heck of a player, man. But any team he goes to is going to have a chance. Now, I don't know what they were thinking with some of the guys they signed. I guess they're going to try to beat Golden State up and make it an ugly game. But you don't have enough shooting at all to hang with them. I don't know where that's going to come from.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I was telling the guy earlier that I like Lonzo Ball healthy going to start. So even though Rondo is there, I think he's 6'6", he's lengthier. He's a hell of a defender. Yeah. But let's talk about how do you feel your hometown guy is going to play with LeBron, Brandon Ingram?
I hope he does well, man. Honestly, it's going to be like a kind of trial year for me to see how that goes, because I don't think with him and then Kuzma after him coming up with contracts and those things that you can keep all 3 of those guys. So somebody's going to be the odd man out. I think though, if the Lakers continue to play the way they do, because they run a lot of the Warriors stuff with Luke Walton being there, a lot of the same sets, a lot of those things, but LeBron's never really played that way. If he allows himself to play that way, I think you can see those young guys shine. But if they go back to LeBron dictating every movement and all that, then you might as well trade him and let him go somewhere else and develop.
Right, and that's what I was going to say. One thing about LeBron, wherever you go, I don't care. Even with Kevin Love, for example, he was a triple-double beast when he was in Minnesota. Got with LeBron, those points plummeted down.
It's Bosh.
Your whole game has to change, and you start playing standstill ball with LeBron. With all due respect to LeBron, he's a great player, but your game completely changed. If you're a player trying to develop, that's not the play. And then the next thing for me, LeBron needs to play out the ball. He'll be more dominant, but LeBron is I know in Cleveland one time they was running his high school plays from St. Vincent, St. Mary. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what they did in Miami, but you still had to, he still was controlling the tempo. So when you have LeBron on your team, with all due respect, because he's a phenomenal human being overall, But we talking about the basketball game.
Right.
Dominant, on the court. And I'm trying to figure out how you're going to help these guys play. Got rid of a lot of guys. Then you bring in Rondo with these guys. I'm going to tell you now, the NBA now, the way the game is evolved a lot different. Your big man got to be able to put the ball on the floor and shoot them.
Right.
You cannot beat no team if you ain't got nobody who knock down the outside shot. You're going to get cooked. Somebody was telling me they think they'll be a good transitional team. But you have to get the ball to be transitional.
Yes.
Stuff stops if guys get in foul trouble. Mm-hmm. Go against these guys a lot. They keep pushing the tempo to them. Now you put yourself in the bind. I'm just ready to see what Luke Walton do. I think, honestly, some people say Mike Spoelstra was a good coach. Ty Lue was just a good coach of a product of some of the other coaches. I don't know how great he was. But I'm ready to see how him and Luke Walton will pair up together. I think Luke is a pretty good coach.
I think he is too, and I just hope LeBron allows himself to be coached. Because truthfully, other than Team USA, he has not allowed himself to be coached. And he has dictated everything, and I think that's why he didn't stay in Miami, because they actually would not let him dictate everything. So I'm curious to see, at this point in his career, I think the best thing for him to do is pull those young guys along and say, hey, I don't need to go out there and average 27, 28 points. I can scale that back to 20, 22, 23, but his assists may go up 3 more. He may get 2 or 3 more rebounds or something. So I think he's got to find a way to fit in with them rather than them changing their game to fit in with him.
Quick prediction. NBA Finals prediction before the season starts. What you got?
Warriors, Celtics.
I said the same thing.
I think if the Raptors stay healthy, it's going to be a heck of a series between them and the Celtics. People say the East isn't as strong. The East is pretty good now.
Yeah,
it's pretty darn good.
Yeah,
there's some teams. Yeah,
the LeBron effect. That's why.
Yeah.
The LeBron effect in the East, no matter what he has, is going to win the East.
Absolutely.
In the best.
But I just think, so the biggest thing, I think Houston losing Bob Moute and Ariza is going to hurt them more than people understand. And not only that, 2 days ago, Jeff Bzdelik, their assistant coach who orchestrated the defense, retired. He's just up and retired. So now who's going to step in and run that next year?
Retirements, I guess. Buffalo Bills guy retires at halftime.
Yeah, halftime. So,
this must be the week of retirements, man. You ain't about to retire, are you?
No. I ain't ready for that yet. But I think Houston has a shot. I'm curious to see what OKC looks like now that Melo's not there. I think they have some good pieces there as well. Do I think they're ready in that upper tier yet? I don't know, because I think Russ has got to change a lot for that team to grow too. But I don't know. I think LA will probably be next in line. There, Denver's got a good young team. No telling what Minnesota's going to look like next week, so we don't know.
What you feel about the Spider in Utah? You think they got enough pieces to get back those electric rims?
But and the good thing about them that I thought what they were missing was one guy that could be their go-to guy. And it's crazy to say that he's only been there 1 year, but there is no question that's your go-to guy.
Yeah, I agree.
That superstar, because they have great role players, great pieces, all of those things. But you just happen to be in the West where you need a lot more than that.
Interesting. Well, my conclusion here to Raw Mnd Sports, man. Craig Dawson is a definition of bold. You got to be bold to get to where you want to get sometimes. And I'm not saying bold in a bad way, but that's the word we're going to describe this conclusion to. Bold. He told you earlier in the episode about how he had to play Jerry Stackhouse, his daddy. His brother Tony, right?
My uncle, yeah.
Tony. Tony Dawson. Like, these guys made him bold. He had no choice. It was either out and cry or man up and play. So you have to be bold. And if you can take on those guys at one time, you can imagine what type of other challenges you probably had to endure and face on and take on with no problem. He go through a lot of injuries that he went through, the shoulder injuries, etc. That means a lot. A lot of people can even handle the pressure, not even want to go back to play basketball or even coach basketball from those injuries. Some people might just tear away like, no, I don't even want to look at it anymore. Some of those injuries can be very stressful and do a lot to your mental and your mentality. So that being said, Bold. His name is Craig Bold Dawson. Craig, I appreciate you coming up on the show, man.
Man, appreciate you having me, man. This has been a blast.
No problem. Y'all tune into this episode.